The korle-Bu Teaching Hospital has dismissed the director of pharmacy and 3 other top officials due to what an official statement said is gross incompetence and dereliction of duty in the management and day-to-day operations of the 24-hour pharmacy. While the director of pharmacy, Elizabeth Bruce, principal pharmacist, pharmacy manager Eric Kwekuche, and pharmacy accountant Augustina and stores assistant Daniel Eledi, the 4, according to the hospital, could not account for over 946,000 cedis from sales and revenue at the 24-hour pharmacy of the hospital, following a forensic audit commissioned by the Ministry of Health in 2014. The board and management met on Wednesday, June 17, and took the decision to dismiss them. Well, we have our labor correspondent, Daniel Opoku. He's been on this matter and monitoring developments there in the past 1 year. He joins us on the phone lines. Daniel, thank you very much for your time. I know you've spoken to the director of pharmacy. What has she been saying?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Pakwisi. We currently have not been able to speak to the director of pharmacy. Actually, ever since the event happened, somewhere the latter part of last year, they were asked to step aside. And since the latter part of last year, and this morning, the director of pharmacy, including 3 others, have not come to work. Actually, they were interdicted. But what we tried to do was to speak to her this morning, and she said she got to know about it at the close of last night. And then already the matter is in court. Their interdiction issues are in court. And secondly, IOCO, that's the Economic and Organized Crime Unit, that's also taken over to do investigations. As we speak, IOCO has not completed its work. The matter in court has not been dealt with, but the board of korle-Bu, after the external auditors have completed their work, have decided that they, more or less, they should be dismissed. Currently, what the director of pharmacy, that's the former director of pharmacy, that way, Mrs. Elizabeth Bruce, what she has decided to do is to speak to her lawyers, and the lawyers are also agreed to take up the issue. But this morning, when we visited the premise of korle-Bu, what we have been able to gather was that as they got to know about the news, they became very disturbed, and most of them were a bit worried. Now, what they have assembled the various heads of the various units at the 24-hour pharmacy for an emergency meeting, emergency crisis meeting, for them to have a final decision as to why the two should be dismissed.
Daniel, what else has been coming out from the korle-Bu Teaching Hospital? We are beginning to understand that junior doctors haven't backed on a strike action. What more are you gathering from that?
Now, in the case of the junior doctors, as we got to korle-Bu, we didn't get wind of that. But if the junior doctors are on strike, basically has to do with the outstanding allowances that they have been asking government to do. If you could recall, some few weeks back, those in Confirmation Teaching Hospitals also were demanding their allowances, and government was able to settle their allowances. Currently, those in Cape Coast Hospital, I understand, also have not received their allowance. And the korle-Bu people, what happened was that the management tried to manage the concerns that they initially raised. But I believe because they got to know that those in Confirmation haven't been paid, they are also asking for their piece of cake for government to pay them. But most importantly, now the argument going on has to do with whether the board of korle-Bu has the mandate to ask the 4 people or the 4 pharmacists to dismiss them. That's the debate going on, because the 4 people who were asked to leave are employees of the Ghana Health Service, and the Ghana Health Service operates under the Ministry of Health. Now, the Ghana Health Service has a council, so the argument has to do with why didn't the board refer, or why didn't the board make recommendations to the Ghana Health Services Council for them to take a decision. But the board was able to ask the 4 people to go, or to dismiss the 4 people. That's the ongoing debate that we are trying to find answers to, and we believe we'll be able to get answers before the close of day today.
All right, thank you very much. Daniel Opoku is our man on the ground, bringing us the very latest developments from the korle-Bu Teaching Hospital.